So, a little bit about me. Well, I'm not even sure where to start. As you can see, my tarot table is in the back, and some of you have probably been watching me for a while. Some of you might be new. So I wanted to start with the fact that I am a tarot reader. I don't actually need the cards to actually get a feeling of what somebody needs to hear. I'm very lucky. I have been very connected with my guides. I never really asked to be connected, I just am. I have a feeling one of my guides, or the strongest guide I have, is actually my great-grandmother. Now, I don't have much to substantiate that, but I just feel that way since I've had a connection to her name without really knowing that that was her name. And it's a very strange name in the first place. I had never heard of a person named Flossie, but that's my grandmother's name. And it's a name I was very connected to even as a kid, as a child. I remember actually wanting to call one of my horses Flossie. And I don't mean an actual horse. I'm not a horse person, please. No, I don't. Sorry, nothing against anybody who is. But horses to me need to be roaming free. They shouldn't be underneath somebody's ass. Yeah, probably a little too much truth there. And I'm going to get some haters, I know. And I'm all right with that. I'm all about being authentic. I'm all about truth. So if you've got something you want to say to me, feel free to write it in the comments. It doesn't really matter to me. So back when I was 16, yes, 16, I had what is called a spontaneous Kundalini rising. Now, I had no idea at 16 that that's what had happened to me. I had no idea of that until last year. I just thought I was losing my bloody mind. Something happened that made me feel like I was both in heaven and dying at the exact same time. It was through a sexual experience. Close your ears if you didn't want to hear that. None of my family members, sorry. And at that point in time, I actually thought that that's what was called an orgasm. Yeah, not even close. So not too long after this, my life started to fall apart, like literally fall apart. I was seeing things and I couldn't understand what I was seeing or why I was seeing them. And my very first experience with this was actually with the mother of my first love. And all I could see was her doing this motion. I couldn't tell what it was she was doing, but she was just doing this motion. She had an angry look on her face. Okay, no idea what the hell this is. I'm just gonna let that go. And about 3 days later, she actually pulls me aside when I was coming back. I can't remember where we were. I think we were at the park, actually, having a good time at the park, and came back and she grabs me by the shoulder and she pulls me into a separate room. And she tells me, I caught the son of a bitch. He's fucking around, and I decided I can forgive him. But I took my drink and I threw it in his lap and said, there, it's sterilized. Now keep it out of her. I almost had a heart attack because that exact same freaking motion I had already seen. Things got weirder and weirder from there. I kept hearing things, and they were not nice things. They were things that made me question my life a lot. And they really made me question my relationship with my first love. I kept hearing options. Well, truth, I was dating a hell of a handsome man. But he was older than me. And he was even older in looks than what he was in age. And that allowed him into places that was no way in fuck this child could go. He was DJing in a bar. And, well, I knew he was surrounded in gorgeous women. Real women, not a child. And all I kept hearing, as I said, was options. Then one day I had what I thought was a dream. And I think it turned out to actually be the beginning of a daydream. I'm not really sure, but I took it to mean something really, really bad. And that was I saw him in kind of like a harem. He had women everywhere. And again, I'm hearing options. That weekend, I had to babysit. Again, I was a child. that was my job. I'd done some stupid shit, made some stupid choices, quit school. What a dumb thing to do. But as I said, my life was falling apart and I had no idea why. And well, this was the end of that falling apart. Rock bottom. Somehow I got an extremely jealous streak. I was literally seeing death. And I don't mean I was visualizing it. I mean, what I felt within me was a life and death situation to the pain that was in my heart. And all that was stated was that he wanted to go with one of his friends out cruising in another town. I lost it. Absolutely lost it. And the rest of my life fell apart. From there, it was seeing things in the way of death. And these were deaths that actually happened. I saw actions of something, and within a day, it would actually happen. Finally, after my life had completely fallen apart and I didn't even recognize myself anymore, I had actually started doing drugs a lot. I was drinking a lot. I went to a dry out clinic in another city, and that kind of gave me a fresh start, except for I kept running into people that were all about psychic ability and tarot reading. And it was like, okay, so what is this? I'd heard the name tarot reading, and I had thought about trying to learn how to read tarot. I don't even know where I heard it or how I heard it, but then all of a sudden it was right there in front of me everywhere. So at 17 years old, I learned how to read tarot cards. Back then there was no such thing as reversals. So you'll see on my channel, I don't usually do a lot of reversals unless I feel that energy is reversed. That's how I read, is by the energy. I also read by the messages that are given to me by my dear sweet great grandmother. Whispers in my ear, just little kind of messages. I might get one word, I might get a phrase. Sometimes they really freak me out because I have no idea what the hell they're supposed to mean, but I know somebody out there does. So, within this quest of trying to find out, what is this tarot stuff, I picked up a deck of actual playing cards. And next thing I know, I'm able to pick up very private thoughts of people with this bloody deck of playing cards. So I'm like, okay, I need to explore this a little more. And I actually sought out what he called himself, a psychic. I wasn't sure if I even actually believed in that term at that point, but something resonated with me, with him. And then he decided he could teach me how to read tarot. But he needed me to be able to take instruction to a point where I would literally like run into a fire. That's what he told me to do. Now, the thing was, that's not what he told me to do. He wanted me to get naked. Yeah, scam. But it intrigued me to a point where I had to have a tarot deck. I had to have a tarot deck. So I offered to buy one of his. And he actually handed me one as a gift. And that's where I started. A lot of shit happened. I won't get into it. It's boring, very freaking boring. But the end result was, I took to mean that a lot of shit that happened in my life was due to my tarot reading. Because back then, tarot reading was something to do with the occults in the form of devil worship or, being a saint and lover and so on and so forth. You certainly did not state that you were a tarot reader, and especially if you actually did witchcraft on the side, which, by the way, I was also dabbling in. It called to me immediately after my life fell apart, and it did help me through some pretty rough times. But I ended up setting it all on the back burner because so much shit had happened in my life, and somebody actually managed to talk me into the fact that that's the reason it was happening, is because I was dabbling in all of this stuff. So I gave it up. And for now, that's enough for this video. And I really hope that if you think you can actually resonate with me, that you will hit that like and subscribe button, and that maybe I'll catch you on the next video. You'll learn a little more about me. And I'm hoping to learn a lot about everybody who follows. So please, please mention in the comments what you'd like to see on this channel. If there's something that you truly resonated with me, the reason you might actually hit that subscribe button, let me know, okay? Until then, love you all. I'm really hoping to find my tribe. Bye.